Hello, my beautiful queens. Welcome back to this week's episode of your Manifesting Bestie podcast, season 5. I'm your host, Flora, and we are diving into all things mindset, manifestation, and divine feminine energy like we always do. And today I'm really inspired to turn my listeners into goddesses. I want to turn you, specifically the woman who is listening to this message, into a walking, talking goddess, into a woman who embodies magic with her presence, with her aura. I want to turn you into the most magnetic being, the highest version of yourself. You really are a goddess. You are magic in the physical flesh. And I know sometimes we tend to forget that. We forget we are magic. We forget who we are. We forget our own innate calling. We forget why we're here. I want to remind you and I want to hand you your power back and allow you to claim your own goddess energy. You have a unique aura about you, but the world cannot feel it. It cannot sense it. It cannot see how incredible you are until you learn how to unleash your inner goddess. And before Abrahamic religions about 2,000 years ago took over the planet, the goddesses ruled the world for hundreds of thousands of years. Yes, there were statues of women, goddesses, that ruled over civilizations. These were beautiful women. These were actually curvy women. If we look at the old statues of women that were burned, torn down, and destroyed, these women were like fully robust, very beautiful, very curvy. They were the true essence of love, of fertility, of creativity. And right now, as you are, I want you to know that you are perfect and you are whole and you already embody goddess energy. You came here knowing that that is exactly who you are. You came here as the almighty, the powerful. A lot of us just tend to forget because of social conditioning, because we were always put last, because men always came first, and because every single world religion right now has dominated the earth, teaching women that they come last and they're not good enough and they need to fix themselves. They need to be people pleasers in order to make everybody happy. Their wants, needs, and desires are simply just not that important. It's funny because doctors only recently started actually doing scientific research on women's health because apparently women were not seen as human beings for such a long time. There's like that meme online that says there's more studies done on male pattern baldness than on female reproductive issues such as endometriosis, PCOS, infertility, and so many other autoimmune disorders. But now that we've all learned that the real creator of the universe is a feminine entity, because all life force starts as feminine. All creation comes from the sacred portal, the sacred womb that only women have. And now that we know that all life form starts as female, there's no life form that ever starts as male, we all understand now that God, the creator, is a feminine entity, and the most authentic state of women is goddess energy. And a lot of the goddesses that rule the planet were demonized, and I'm gonna actually do a whole nother episode on who these goddesses were, what their names are, and share more about their background and their history. But today we are going to tap into your inner goddess energy. So let's talk about strengthening your intuition. Your divine intuition is speaking to you all day long, but we have kind of muted her. We've dimmed her light, we've shut her out, because we do live under a very masculine structure. We no longer operate through the 28-day feminine cycle. We are all operating on a 24-hour masculine cycle, and that doesn't really align with women. But the one way that we can learn how to effectively strengthen our intuition is by following our innate pleasure. And pleasure is such a taboo topic. Something I recently learned, which I thought it was so freaking interesting. As a side note, you guys know how we all store fascia in our body. Fascia almost looks like a white web. It almost looks like tendons or cartilage. It's this giant web of fascia that's actually keeping our entire body together under our skin. And when the nervous system goes into fight or flight mode, the fascia starts to tighten up in our bodies. It can tighten up in our chest, in our stomach, in our back, a lot of times in our hips. It changes our posture. And I was following this woman who's always talking about fascia release because it releases pain, it heals the nervous system, it releases trauma, it does all these incredible things because our memory is actually stored in the fascia of the body, which, hello, duh, because the subconscious lives in the body. The body is the subconscious mind because the body is giving us all the signals and storing all the memory of our entire lineage. Now, if we want to heal the fascia and loosen up the fascia so it's not always tightening, it's not always feeling like it's in fight or flight mode, what I was learning from this woman is that if we lean into the feeling of pleasure, the fascia itself that's covering our entire body starts to open up. It starts to lighten up. It starts to ease up. That's almost like what we talk about in manifestation, about easing resistance, giving up the fight, surrendering. So how can we surrender? How can we start to listen to our own intuition and stop fighting with our reality? We can start leaning into pleasure. And when I say the word pleasure, I know everybody's mind jumps to sexual pleasure. And yes, that is one of the biggest ways that we can lean into pleasure is through having our own self-pleasure practice. It does not need to be with another partner. It could just be an intimate session with yourself. Because when you start to get comfortable with your body, you realize that you can tap into creation through the big O at any given moment. Now, when a woman starts to lean into pleasure, she naturally starts to heal her nervous system. Her fascia all around her body gets a signal, like a quantum signal telling it to ease up. You are safe. You can experience this present moment. You can lean into pleasure. You can lean into softness. You can lean into pure receiving. And what we talked about a long time ago on the Sex Energy podcast episode is that when a woman reaches the big O, her masculine mind completely shuts off and her feminine mind, which is a subconscious mind, is open, and it collapses any type of judgment, any type of logical thinking, and that woman in the moment is directly connected to the quantum realm where all possibilities can happen. That's a really great time to start manifesting your desires just by visualizing it or speaking it out loud. And what's really important to know is that we have the divine speaking to us through our body all day long. She is sending us cues to our body throughout the entire day. We just need to sometimes sit in stillness and listen to her. Listen to what she's saying. She is directing you. She is your higher self. She knows exactly what you want. She knows exactly where you want to go. She knows exactly who you want to become, what you want to attain, what you want to let go of. She sees everything. It's like your higher self has a bird's eye view of you and your entire reality, and she's trying to direct you like the internal GPS system. So she's telling you by leaning into pleasure, you're on the right track. So how can we start to navigate this, right? How can we listen to our inner divine system that is built into our hardware? It's a software built into the hardware, right? So it's really important to listen to her. What are the cues that my body is signaling? My body knows when I'm not safe. But my body knows when it's also safe to lean into pleasure because she's going to signal this right here, this option or this opportunity or this choice or this new route, this feels good in my body. When that feeling comes, it's something like an inner knowing that takes over you, and you don't need to question it. And you don't need anyone else's opinion on it. Hey, should I do this or should I do that? Is this a good business idea? What do you think about me going to this event? What do you think about this person? If your inner body language is telling you this is safe and this is pleasurable, this is meaningful, this allows you to lean into playtime, into softness, into feel good energy, that is your inner guidance system, your intuition telling you your next step to get you to where you want to go. So let's say you have this entire roadmap and you are at point A of the roadmap, and point Z on the roadmap is your desire. Now there's all these ladders and these holes and nooks and crannies and mountains and valleys on this entire map. But your higher self knows all the shortcuts to get you from point A to point Z on this map, from where you are to where you're trying to go. And the way that she bridges the gap, she collapses time and space, is by hinting things towards you that feel like pleasure, that really feel good, that feel exciting, where you feel turned on, you feel electric, you feel magnified to it. It doesn't make sense. You're like, this isn't logical. My parents would never recommend this for me, right? Society would judge me for doing this or for trying this or for, leaving my degree or leaving my safe job and betting it all on this one idea. But something in my body is telling me to take the leap. Something in my body keeps signaling that this is pleasure. This feels really good. That is that map, right? That your higher self is looking at and saying, hey, you can cut through this entire zigzag map. You don't have to go through all the trials and tribulations. If you lean into pleasure, it's a shortcut. And you will collapse time and space from A to Z. Now you got your desire. But in the moment, it doesn't seem logical. It's like, how does this thing, this idea, this opportunity, how is this gonna get me to where I want? It has nothing to do with what I want. It doesn't matter. You don't need to know. You're probably not gonna know. And that's okay. I think that's the scary part. That's where everybody tenses up and leans into fear. Well, it's the how. How is this gonna happen? How is this gonna work out? How is this gonna bring me my desires? It doesn't matter. How is not your job. Your job as a woman is to lean more into pleasure, lean more into playtime, lean more into fun. That is your guidance system. That is your intuition talking to you, saying, hey, goddess, I got your back. This is all you have to do. Have some more fun. Enjoy yourself a little more. Stop being so self-sacrificing. Stop being such a fucking people pleaser. Hey, I got your back. I know where you're going. I see the finish line. This is an easier step for you. Just have a little fun right here. Lean into pleasure. Enjoy this present moment. Stop being so hyper masculine in your logical mind, trying to figure out how is it gonna happen? How is it gonna happen? It doesn't matter. Allow the universe to bring you the how. Because that's the unique way of the unfolding. That's the path of least resistance happening for you. That is the bridge of incidents revealing itself eventually the more you listen to your intuition, your inner guidance system. That's how you become a goddess. You activate her. You bring her to life. You start walking like you're magic, talking like you're magic, playing around like you're this magical being. You're not rigid. You're not supposed to be rigid. You're not a man. This entire 24-hour system is built by men for men because it works for them. You are not a man. Say it with me. I am not a man. I am a woman. I'm a woman who knows that she is a goddess, who knows that she has different power, different sense for life. I'm not supposed to live on this rigid schedule. They're telling me to wake up at 5 a.m. and then go to the gym and do all these things and then cold plunge into a freaking ice bath? Does that sound like pleasure to anyone? I don't know. To me, it sounds like torture. And I read online that for a woman's body, we're not even supposed to be cold plunging. It's like one of the worst things to do for the nervous system. It's different if you put like ice on your face or ice on your neck, but to do a full submerge of a cold plunge into an ice bath for the woman's body, it can send her even more into fight or flight mode. It's not the best way for her to regulate herself. So again, you're not a man and all these systems are built by men. You are built different. You have the divine speaking to you all day, sending you magic, sending you cues, sending you downloads that are supposed to feel really good. And the reason you're depressed and the reason you're always anxious and the reason you're probably battling with autoimmune disorders, because a lot of women are, it just keeps getting higher and higher, more and more women are battling autoimmune disorders, is because we are living out of alignment of what our divine calling is. We are consistently denying ourselves of the pleasure, of the feel-good stuff, all the juicy stuff. We're saying no to pleasure and choosing structure. We're saying no to pleasure and choosing a rigid system. We're saying no to playtime because we feel shameful for taking a break. We feel ashamed. We're like, no, I have to be hyper productive because that's what the system tells me to do. Hyper productivity, overproductive, right? That's what men teach. I've tried it. I'm sure you've tried it. It doesn't feel good. When I wake up in the morning, that's not what I'm thinking. Okay, when I wake up in the morning, I'm like, what would feel good right now? Obviously, it's different if I'm going to like a 9-to-5 job. When I was going to a 9-to-5 job, it was very different. I had to do things on a certain structure until I took myself out of that. So when you have alone time, when you have time to yourself, that's when it's a good time to cue in and listen. What would feel really good right now? What would feel more like playtime than a rigid structure? That is the way that you bring out your inner goddess. You turn yourself into magic. I do this practice where I take a lot of walks. My hot girl walks, if you're a walker, you get it, 10K steps a day. I love walking. I try to do it as much as I can. Sometimes I miss out. It doesn't matter. I don't beat myself up for it. But when I'm walking, I talk to myself in my brain. You guys know I love self-talk practice. It's one of the main components in all of my manifestation programs. It's how my clients are making insane money. 6 figures, 7 figures. I've turned over 30 women into millionaires. It's crazy because I teach them how to talk to themselves in these programs, right? So when I'm walking, right? So picture yourself on a giant, long sidewalks. You have palm trees surrounding you. The sun is shining, the birds are chirping, and you are strutting your walk. You're moving your hips. You're looking sexy. You're looking like a badass bitch, okay? You are strutting your stuff on that sidewalk. You're like, yes, I'm getting my 10K steps in. Every single step I take, I tell myself, I am magic. I'm magical. I'm creating my new life. I'm walking into my new reality, my next steps. I'm entering this new zone, my new identity, this new era. I start feeling like I'm magic on my walk. And someone can listen to what I'm saying and be like, oh, it's just all in your head, but it's not. It's not all in my head because I keep creating things that are unheard of to me. I keep creating a life and improving it every 6 months. It just keeps getting better for me because I keep telling myself I am magic. With every step I take, I am magic. I'm a goddess. I'm a creatrix, right? I'm the creator, right? So I keep telling myself with everything that I do, like I'm entering my new timeline. I'm calling in new energy. I'm releasing the old and welcoming the new. I'm the best version of myself. I'm entering this new space. I'm jumping timelines. With every single step I take on that walk, it's like I'm visualizing a door opening for me, and I'm entering it with force, with fierceness, with magic. I'm like, this is my new timeline. I'm gonna make it my bitch. So I keep talking to my reality. I keep talking to my body. I keep talking to my subconscious with every little action I take. So you can practice this and turn on your inner goddess, right? Activate her. Become a woman who really feels alive. She's not just going through the motions. She's not just repeating yesterday's thoughts that don't feel good. She's not arguing with other people who pissed her off inside of her mind. She's not gossiping. She's not talking down on herself. She's not self-loathing. No, she's reminding herself to calibrate with magic. She's reminding herself who the fuck the creator is. It's her. It's you. It's always been you. It will always be you. They can't take it away from you. They're going to try to dim it, dilute it, diminish it, but you're not going to forget. Who is the creator? It's you. It's been you all along. This is your reality. And you can do anything you want with it. You can mold it like clay in your own 2 hands. Don't forget the power that you hold as a goddess. You're the creator here. So when we talk about opening up our pleasure channels, every time you're facing an event during your day, you have to make a decision, or you are at a crossroads, or you're faced with a choice of choosing 1, 2, 3, or 4 different things. I want you to look at everything in front of you and just call on your higher self. She talks to you through your body, not through voice. So listen to your body here. You're going to call on your higher self and say, hey, which one of these options would feel like pleasure? Would feel so fun for me right now? Would feel so exciting? Which one of these options turn me on in my body the most? That is how I want you to start making decisions. It's not your logical mind. The logical mind is only a system that collects data of what is. The logical mind cannot see past what is. It just sees the current hologram. It sees what you've created thus far, which is old. It's like an old piece of bubble gum that you've chewed the flavor out of. It's an old piece of gum. It's not worth much. So your logical mind just collects data from what is. You don't need to listen to it. That is the masculine mind working just to give you feedback, right? It's just collecting data, giving you feedback. You can filter through that in the subconscious mind and say, hey, I'm gonna go based on my feeling. This is where women are just so like light years ahead of their male counterparts, because if you wanna have real logic, you need to also have emotion. People think men are more logical creatures because they only think with their masculine mind, but real logic does require empathy and feeling. That is how we make the best decisions. So when you are faced with making a decision, just call on your body and say, hey, what choice here feels the best, feels the most exciting, allows me to get more turned on. And I teach this to my business clients, because when I'm talking to a woman, she's like, Flora, I want to make a shit ton of money. I want to make a lot of money. I want to, I want to be like you. I want to make millions just like you have. Like, what business do I start? I know I can't get it from my job, but what kind of business should I start? And I say, hey, you got to call on your body. What is your path of least resistance? What turns on your body? Like, what sends an electromagnetic signal through you, because you are electric, you are made of electricity. That's why you get turned on. That's why you get, fire, passion, horny. The hair on your arms rises because you're electric. You're an electric being. So what turns you on? If you want to pick the best business, you want to make the most money, you want to call in new opportunities, you want to have more abundance in your life, you want to be that magnetic goddess, you need to follow your path of least resistance. So what option have you seen that turned you on the most? That is your inner guidance calling you. That's your goddess lighting up, saying, hello, this is the most pleasureful experience you can get right now. So let's go into this business model or this business model. This is a great idea. It's turning you on. It's feeling electric in your body. That's your inner goddess, your inner guidance system unleashing itself. It's talking to you. When I first started my business journey, I was awful. I was so awful, but I tried everything. I was not trying things that turned me on. I was trying things that were trendy. I was trying things that other people recommended, and I appreciate that. I learned so much from it, but I failed at all of those business models. I did network marketing, affiliate marketing, drop shipping, Amazon storefront. I started a nutrition business, helping people with their diet, all this stuff. It all failed. It all crumbled, and that's okay, because I learned so much, right? I took bits and pieces from all of those crumbled businesses that led me to a multi-million-dollar brand that I run now. And I realized that I failed at all those businesses, because my body was so turned off in each of them. It's like clocking into a job where you rather die than be there. It just feels awful. You just feel restricted in your body. It feels like walking into hell. I hate that feeling. I hate waking up and I'm like, oh my God, what am I doing here, right? Like, what am I doing here? I didn't know that these cues were speaking to me. I didn't know that these body cues was like telling me, hey, you're turning off your inner goddess. You're not unleashing her to the world. You're dimming her light because you are following the trends that people are trying to navigate you towards, but that's not your calling. That's not your path of least resistance. So you want to ask yourself, like, what feels the most electric to me? Even if it doesn't make sense, like financially, like you're like, well, I don't know how this would make me money, but I'm passionate about it. That is likely your inner calling to abundance. You just don't know how it's going to happen. And again, it's not your job. The how is not your job. That's the universe's job. Your job is to figure out what turns you on as a woman, as a goddess. Because again, you are magic and anything can happen when you follow your intuition. Now, another way that you can start turning on your inner goddess and just really become magical throughout the day. And I feel like we've talked about this in a couple of other episodes. It's about romanticizing each segment of your life. And it's becoming that main character energy and really owning that, because raise your hand if you were like me, right? I would buy like these super sexy outfits and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna save it for like a special occasion, and I never wore it. I never wore the super hot, super sexy outfit. Why did I even buy it? I didn't think I was good enough to put it on. I didn't believe that I was the special occasion to wear that fit. So it just lingered in my closet. It took up space, it collected dust. I eventually grew out of it, or it wasn't my taste anymore. What? Yeah, looking back, I'm so pissed. I'm so pissed. I didn't believe I was worthy to put on that super hot outfit because I didn't think I was the main character. I'm like, no, don't overdress. Oh my God, people are gonna look at you. Oh my God, people are gonna be like, what is she wearing? She's like so over the top. No, be over the top. That's how you become more magnetic. Be bold, take up space, like stretch out the electromagnetic field around you. You become so much more magnetic. You become a walking, talking goddess. You become magical. Okay, spray that expensive luxury perfume that you're obsessed with. You just love the scent. You want to bathe in that luxury perfume, but you keep telling yourself, I'm not going to wear it. I'm going to save it for a special occasion. You are the special occasion. My friend, Bestie, hello. You're the main character. Your whole life is the special occasion. Your life is the party. We want to treat every day like it's the party we're preparing for. Like every day is New Year's Eve. Every day is Christmas Eve. Every day is your birthday. Because technically it is. All we have is the present moment. If I cannot celebrate myself and treat myself today like the main character, I cannot romanticize my life. I keep putting myself on the back burner and be like, oh, I'm not good enough today to look like that. I'm not good enough today to wear my best outfit. I'm not good enough today to present myself like I'm a freaking winner. I'm not good enough today. When will you be good enough? When? Are you waiting for a permission slip for someone to sign off and be like, hey, Flora, today you should wear that great outfit. Here is your permission to be the baddest bitch alive. Signed, whoever the fuck. Are you waiting for a permission slip to be your best self? No, I saw this girl online. She's like, she's a stay-at-home mom. She's like, I wake up every morning, I do my makeup, I do my hair, I do my luxury skincare routine at home. I'm a stay-at-home mom. I feel my best. I look my best. Now this girl is getting brand deals online through her content because she just shows up. She's so magnetic. She's so fun because she just felt like putting herself together every day, even though she's a stay-at-home mom. She's not going to work. She's not going anywhere where she has to pitch anything or present anything. She just wants to feel like her best, most magnetic, most irresistible, most juicy, most magical self. She's a walking, talking goddess and she owns it. And now she's getting paid for her existence. She's just getting paid. She's getting paid and her husband still takes care of her. Yeah, she's chilling. I love that for her. I'm like, round of applause. Yes. Do your hair. Smell good. Please take a shower. I know some people are going through depression and anxiety and they are not pouring into their self-care. And we talked about this on another episode on deep rest, right? When we are depressed, we are actually going through depression because we are consuming more than we create as human beings, and human beings are creative beings. We have to be creating things to feel good. If we're not creating anything in our life, we can fall into depression. So find your creative outlet. But you want to be treating every single day like it's a special occasion. Like there are cameras on you, okay? There's cameras filming you for your reality show or something. How are you going to show up? How do you take care of yourself? How do you celebrate life? How do you celebrate your existence? How do you take care of your home, your whole environment, your body, your mental health, your spiritual health? Like, I want you to turn yourself on. I want you to become the walking, talking embodiment of pleasure. That's when you become magical, magnetic, irresistible, undeniable. Like, people just look at you and they're like, oh my God, I want her. I want to be her. I want to be friends with her. I want to date her. I want just everything about her. Yes, give it to me. She inspires me. I want to show up like her. I want to dress like her. I want to embody the same energy she embodies because she's acting like, walking like, talking like she's magic. She's not just living through the motions in her life. She leans into pleasure. She allows her intuition to guide her. She becomes the main character. She romanticizes every aspect of her life. And she doesn't allow the weight of other people's opinions change how she perceives herself. I think this is the biggest part of being magical. Being a magical woman is that the weight of your joy is far more important than the opinions of other people. Because the opinions of other people, number one, they're not going to pay your bills. Number two, they're not going to make you feel good. Number three, it doesn't matter what you do as a woman, you will be judged. Point blank, period. Because you're expected to raise a family as if you don't have a career. And then you're expected to be successful in your career as if you're not raising a family. And then on top of that, you're expected to look good as if you're not doing either of those two things. Oh, and make sure you show zero signs of aging. But if you get some work done, then you should be ashamed of yourself. Don't be too skinny, but don't be too curvy, but don't be too muscular. Don't be too full of yourself, but you should always take care of your appearances. Don't be too assertive. Don't be too bossy, because men don't like that. You should be soft and dainty and feminine and rely on your man to lead you, but don't rely on him too much financially, because then you're a gold digger. It doesn't matter what you do as a woman in a world that was designed to hate you, to tear you down, to always show you why you're not good enough. It doesn't matter. So this is why the weight of other people's opinions should not deter you from your decision making, from your joy, from you feeling good. Fuck what they think. It doesn't matter. You don't live for other people. You live for your joy. You live for your pleasure. You live for your own fulfillment, for your own expansion. That's why you were alive. That's why you were brought on this planet. That is your mission here. Follow your pleasure as a woman. You are a goddess, a walking, talking goddess. Every day is a celebration. Every day is a celebration of your existence because you are the main character. You are the creator. There is no one on this planet that is above you. So start acting like it. Start owning it. Start feeling like it. Start leaning into that side of you. Because a goddess does not diminish herself. She doesn't shy away from what's important to her. She doesn't allow the opinions of others outweigh what brings her joy. She just owns it. She knows what her mission is on this planet. And every day she wakes up and asks herself, what would turn me on today? What would feel really good? What would feel really playful? And she follows her intuition, and that intuition guides her to her next manifestation, guides her to her next desire, guides her to her next quantum leap. It allows her to tap into her higher self anytime she feels like it, because she listens to her body, because the subconscious lives in the body and it's speaking to you with cues every single day to remind you of exactly who you are. So anytime you are making decisions, right, and you feel like that decision is shrinking you as a person, it's dimming your light, that is the wrong decision. I always say there's no wrong decision to make. Everything will work out. So more so, that's the most difficult route that you can take for yourself, is whatever option is presenting itself that makes you feel like you have to shrink, that makes you feel like you're dimming yourself, that makes you feel like you're giving up joy or fulfillment, or you're just compromising way too much. That's probably not going to be the best decision for you, because you're going to be sitting in that feeling for prolonged periods of time while that decision or that choice or that move lives itself out. And during the timeline of that decision, you're not going to be feeling your best, because you're always thinking about all the pleasure and all the joy you had to give up for it. So when we really want to become magnetic women, we really want to turn it on, crank it up. We really do need to remember that, yes, we are emotional beings, and that's why we have a deeper wisdom than our counterparts. It's because our emotions, our divinity, is guiding us and showing us the truth, showing us how we can further expand ourselves. So don't dim her. Don't quiet her. Don't silence your inner goddess, because she's just waiting to be unleashed. She's waiting for you to turn her on, activate her. She will be the one that magnetizes all of your desires into your life. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to this week's episode of your Manifesting Bestie podcast. And we will be back again next Wednesday with a brand new episode.